Nobody gives you the instruction manual for life. You just kind of show up. You make decisions that feel right or terrifying, or decisions that everyone else is making, so you just make the same ones. And then one day you look back and think, oh, there were rules this whole time. I just didn't know them. I've spent most of my 20s learning these the hard way. Quitting a job that I thought was my dream role, moving to the other side of the world with no plan, and starting a business that didn't work out. And slowly through all of that, I started to see patterns. So today I'm sharing with you the rules I wish someone had taught me. Rule number 1. You start in default level, but you can change the map. You can't choose your starting conditions. You're born into a family, a culture, a country, and a set of expectations. And most people start walking the path that's in front of them. For me, that was work hard at school, get into a top university, and get a good, stable job. So I did all of that. A-star grades at school, physics at Imperial, my dream role in sustainable fashion. On paper, I was exactly where I was supposed to be. But I felt like something was missing, and that's when I realised I was still on the starting map. But there were more. I moved to Australia with no job lined up. And it felt like it was the first time I was actually choosing my own path. So don't grind at missions you hate. There are other maps for you to explore. Rule 2. Your environment changes the difficulty setting. The people and places around you change the game's difficulty. The same person playing the game in the same way will have a different experience depending on the environment that they're in. I kept trying to push through a high-pressure corporate environment in London in the middle of the pandemic, completely on my own, isolated and alone. I thought struggling meant I wasn't resilient enough or wasn't good enough at my own job. Then I moved to Sydney, worked at a startup, and I was thriving. The same version of me in a different environment at a different time, and I felt like I could actually breathe again. Before you assume that struggling is your fault, ask whether you're playing the game on a harder setting than you should be. Sometimes the smartest thing is to make the move and change the difficulty. Rule 3. You can't see the whole map until you start moving. In most games, the map is restricted. New territory only reveals itself as you explore and start to complete levels. Life works the same way, yet we keep trying to see everything before taking a single step. I tried to build a concrete life plan so many times. Not everything I added was within my control. I worried about things that were too far ahead and I just didn't have enough information about. Clarity doesn't come from thinking, it comes from moving, and you cannot plan your way to a life you can't see yet. Rule 4. Your character has a health bar. Ignore it and you'll lose the level. I suffered from migraines at 16, anxiety at 20, and burnout at 26 that took months to recover from. My body was keeping the score long before I had the language for it. We treat our health like it's optional, and we'll deal with it later. But if you deplete the health bar completely, you'll lose the level anyway. So at each level, watch your health bar. It matters way more than the mission that you're on. Rule 5. Your inventory only holds so much. Drop what's weighing you down. Most of us are walking around with baggage that we didn't consciously choose to pick up. Other people's expectations, the need to be liked, and overcommitting. I was a chronic people pleaser, caring what everyone thought of me. Strangers, my boss, my family, my friends. That weight from putting on a performance day in, day out got heavier and heavier until I dropped it. And I became happier, clearer, and more myself than I had been in years. Every time that you hold on to something that isn't serving you, you're taking up space where you could be carrying something better. What are you holding on to right now that you could put down? Rule 6. Most players are too busy in their own game to notice you. I first started posting online anonymously on a personal finance Instagram, and I felt so awkward about it that I nearly didn't start. But the more I posted, the more I realized people didn't care. So I began posting photos, talking head videos, and then gradually long form videos on YouTube. And nothing happened. No weird comments, no raised eyebrows. The colleague that you're worried about judging your career change is probably too occupied with theirs. The people who might have opinions about you moving abroad or quitting your job, they'll think about it for 60 seconds and then they'll go back to their own game. You are not being watched as closely as you think you are, which means you are far freer than you are allowing yourself to be. Rule 7. You level up by doing scary things, not by playing safe. Safety doesn't grow your character stats. Comfort keeps them exactly where they are. Every big, meaningful thing I've done in my 20s scared me at first. Quitting a job, moving country, starting a business, putting my face and actual thoughts out on the internet. None of it felt safe before I did it, but all of it made me feel so much more capable after. This is why I've started doing one scary thing a year, because every time you do it and survive, your brain updates itself on what it thinks is possible. That's how confidence actually works. Not affirmations, power poses, or alter egos. Doing the thing while scared, and then looking back and thinking, yeah, I did that. Rule 8. Failing isn't game over. You get experience points for every attempt. The consulting business I started last year didn't work. My savings ran out and I had to go back to employment. Even though that was a failure, I now look at it differently. In a game, you get multiple lives to give a level a go, fail, and attempt it again. And you don't expect to complete the level on your first try. You get experience points for attempting it, surviving it, and learning what does and doesn't work. And then you try again. Failure isn't game over. It's experience points, and you keep earning and saving these ready for your next attempt. Rule 9. Side quests often teach you more than the main story. Learning about personal finance became sharing my knowledge online, and then evolved into starting a YouTube channel. Moving to Australia was initially intended as a career gap year, a mix of work and travel for 9 months before heading back to the UK. This side quest ends up changing my main story. So follow your curiosity. Say yes to the random thing. The side quest that you embark on is often where the most interesting part of your story happens. Rule 10. It's a single player game, but co-op mode often makes harder levels easier. Your life is fundamentally yours. No one else can live it for you or do the hard work, but you don't have to do every level solo. Moving to Australia with my partner made something that felt completely overwhelming seem like an adventure. Hiring a PT helped me be consistent and feel confident at the gym. Sharing my work struggles with other women helped me feel capable and stronger. These connections didn't take anything away from my own path. They made it lighter, easier, and more exciting. Trying to complete the difficult levels solo is just harder playthrough. It doesn't make you stronger, it doesn't give you more information, it just makes you more depleted. So let people in and team up for those difficult challenges. You are both the player and the character in the game, the one making the decisions and the one living with them. This means the game is genuinely yours to shape. I didn't know any of this at 20, but slowly through a lot of trial and error, I began to actually figure it out. Playing by these lesser-known rules gives you such a strong start in your game, but knowing this is only useful if you put it into action. So stop living on autopilot and pick up the controller. You are in control of your own life and you can make some incredible choices. My most life-changing decision is this one. Here's what it taught me and how my life has transformed since.